Hello guys and welcome to Daily Market Movements. Welcome to another episode where today we're going to be analyzing the NASDAQ 100 future chart. Just before I start today's video, for anyone who is considering to join my signal service, please do not hesitate to visit my website dailymarketmovements.com. I'm going to leave the website link in the description of today's video. I charge a very small fee of $29.99. But back to the NASDAQ 100, it's been another bloodbath to open up the new trading week here on Monday. We're down all the way, trading down towards around 14,000. We opened the trading session up at around 14,300. So a nice 200 to 250 point drop here for the NASDAQ 100. It continues to suffer as we are seeing these yields surge towards the upside, and we now got the 10-year yield well above 2.7, and as long as that happens, I think that the NASDAQ 100 will continue to fall. That being said, a lot of analysts are anticipating for the 10-year yield to peak here around 2.75. I personally agree. If we go and look at some of my favorite tech stocks at this moment in time, the likes of Nvidia as well, for example, technically they are pretty much set to bounce. We kind of broke out of this negative downtrend that we've been trading in since the beginning of the year. Likewise for the NASDAQ 100, and we're now retesting that. And typically this is a technical move that you see when you get a breakout. You go and test the previous resistance as the new support. And of course, we're very close to this uptrend that we've been trading in, dating all the way back to that massive sell-off we had in March 2020. And we go over to the likes of AMD, for example, the exact same. We're actually just trading below this uptrend that we've been forming since that March sell-off back in 2020. And the semiconductors is a very good industry to kind of look at when it comes to the market bottoming. So I do believe we are getting close now for the NASDAQ 100 to bottom here. I think the S&P 500 is what we should be looking at. I think once we hit that 200-day EMA, which is only about 30 points lower here for the S&P 500, that's an area where the bulls will step back in and protect that. Personally speaking, I do not believe we will snap below the 200-day EMA. This has just been a nice move to kind of digest these gains that we've had all the way from the February lows. I don't think that we will go and revisit them. Also, I just want to point out that the reason that NASDAQ 100 is trading so negatively today is mostly because of Microsoft. So we, of course, we've got Nvidia and Microsoft, two of the biggest stocks in the NASDAQ 100. Both got downgrades during the trading session today. I think we have Microsoft down 4%, Nvidia's down about 5%. So that has had a big hit on the NASDAQ 100. So I am bullish here still for the NASDAQ 100. I know that doesn't really seem very reasonable on a trading session like today, but we will get a bounce. And, I think that's what will then form that uptrend. That would be quite steep, but, if we could form a nice uptrend within the next couple of days, that would be fantastic, and that's something that we can build upon as we march forward. Of course, tomorrow we kick off with banks earnings as well. So the big tech names such as Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, Nvidia, you name it, they will start to report their earnings very, very shortly, a few weeks after the bank. So I think it's starting from next week really, and of course that will have a massive dictation as to where these markets go next. I think it's all about the guidance, not so much about the numbers. So it should be very, very interesting here for the markets. But as always, I am still bullish here for the NASDAQ 100. I think we look towards the S&P 500, as I mentioned earlier on during today's video. For guidance, if we bounce here on the 200-day EMA, then I think that's when you should start buying the NASDAQ 100.